Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is iGoRawr and welcome to Let's Auraxium, the show where I wave my planet-side dick around for the entire internet to see. And today we're going to be taking a look at the idiot that had to restart this video from scratch a grand total of 3 times. Now, why should that matter to you as the viewer? Well, it shouldn't. It's more of a personal note for myself or future historians to make it clear that, yep, this is the moment where I started to lose it. Today we're going to be taking a look at the TengUwU. What's this? A shotgun SMG hybrid, not to be confused with its carbine brother, the TengUwU. Notices your Auraxium medals. Now, before we begin, I do want to mention one thing, and that is I've finally decided it's time to trade in my credibility. That's right, I'm going to start selling my own bootleg PlanetSide 2 merch, or to be more specific, genuine Pulsar C NFTs. That's right, with the power of blockchain technology, you too can be the proud owner of... well, I'm not entirely sure, but you own it. Act now and you can get this extra crazy JPEG for the low cost of 1,823 Canadian rubles, which roughly exchanges to 12 US dollars. With prices like that, you must be thinking, Rar, have you gone mad? To which I say, good sir, it's really rude to ask if somebody's lost all their marbles. And it's even ruder to ask why I'm chewing on glass. There's a lot to talk about, so let's take a look at the stats. But first, this. I was sipping my tea, you asshole.
Does it sound good?
Fuck you.
I thought you liked it.
I did, but screw you. Starting off with a fire rate of 513 rounds per minute and a damage model of 50 damage up to 6 meters, dropping off to 36 damage at 40 meters. It also fires 4 pellets at a time, making its damage output... What the hell is damage? Potential damage output between 200 and 144 damage. Despite having a really low rate of fire, the TengUwU What's This is a surprisingly fast killer. While it's certainly no Pulsar C, force of habit, while it's certainly no Cyclone, it does come close. It's also worth noting that unlike most SMGs, the TengUwU What's This has an extremely low amount of damage drop off over range. Not that it's really gonna do you much good, because the pellet spread on this gun makes it pretty much impossible to get all of your lead on target at longer ranges. Next is a reload speed of 1.8 seconds short and 2.5 seconds long, with a Glockzine size of 22 rounds. Overall, this is pretty average, and that's all I have to say. What, do you need a joke in every other sentence? Fine. What do you call a nutsack with a bandana on it? Relsticles. Taking a look at the recoil, and hear me out on this one. Going in depth on an SMG's recoil is kind of like doing a documentary on Anne Frank's diary and only mentioning the part she wrote about masturbation. It's sort of missing out on the big picture, but outside of a hefty first shot recoil multiplier, the TengUwU What's This strikes what is perhaps one of the best balances between controllability and fast times to kill in the SMG category. Now, if only we could do something about this whole putting the bullets where I'm pointing the gun issue, but alas, we are stuck with a gun with good recoil that can't really utilize it. When it comes to my recommendations for attachments on the TengUwU What's This, well, it sort of feels like one of those weapons where there is one way of equipping it, and there's not a whole lot of wiggle room to deviate from that. As always, sights are a matter of preference, but seriously, if you need more than a 1x on this gun, you might want to get your eyes checked. A suppressor is fine if you want to be sneaky, but the hybrid laser sight is pretty much required if you want to keep lead on target past 15 meters. And soft point ammo is pretty much a given with the TengUwU What's This, because using it at any major range is a major fucky wucky that can land you a really long nap in the forever box. So that brings us to our final question. Is this gun worth your time? And considering how many man-hours I've put into this project so far, no, not yet at least. You see, this whole video review thing is nothing more than one gigantic farce to gather you all here as a community to talk to you about the real burning issue that this weapon has plagued us with for some time now. I'm talking, of course, about its horrendous nickname, the Pocket Gauss-Saw. Now, I'm not gonna name names. It wouldn't be fair for me to tell you which one of the, oh god, what are we down to now, like 5 PlanetSide 2 content creators? Anyways, I'm not gonna tell you which one of them I personally hold responsible for giving this gun its nickname. After all, they did say the Pulsar C is a good gun, so obviously deep down under, they're still a good Kiwi. Person, they're a good person. But this needs to stop now. The TengUwU, what's this, is not a goddamn pocket gauss saw. Seriously, the comparisons between these two start and end in that it shoots slow and hits hard, and if that's all it takes to achieve such a title, then I do declare that my E-dick is now the trouser gauss saw. Need I say more? I think I will. Let's compare the hip fire. The TengUwU, what's this, has hip fire accurate and consistent enough to aim for the head from the hip at the closer ranges. Not as consistent as the greats like the Cyclone or the Armistice, but still reasonably effective. Spraying with the gauss saw, on the other hand, well, that's gonna leave you deader than my motherboard, and spoilers by the way, that's only the reason for 2 of the 3 times I had to restart. Both weapons have fairly snappy times to kill, but how do they perform at the longer ranges? Well, the gauss saw is undoubtedly the poster child for weapons that have a good time to kill and fantastic viability at range. Shooting the TengUwU, what's this, on the other hand, at anything other than its intended ranges though, well, it's kinda like trying to not get piss on the rim of the toilet after your 8th drink. And oh shoot, that reminds me, I gotta go clean something up. I'll be back, hold on. I could easily go on, but I think I've made my point. The TengUwU, what's this, is to the pocket gauss saw as a fistful of thumbtacks is to a pocket pussy, and I swear to God the next motherfucker stupid enough to call it the pocket gauss saw when I'm around is gonna make me throw a goddamn Honda Fit. So please, for the sake of the last thread my sanity hangs by, stop calling it the pocket gauss saw. So, with that little PSA aside, just how good or bad is the TengUwU, what's this? And I'm gonna be frank with you. The only way I could give less of a fuck about this gun is if it was published by EA. It's not because it's a soulless bare minimum experience ridden with microtransactions that only becomes somewhat tolerable when Disney threatened to take away the Star Wars license. It's also not because out of any other video that I've ever made that this one has been the biggest pain in the ass to make. No, you see, it all goes just so much deeper than that, and it's all just a cruel joke being played on me by the universe. Between the blue screening, buying a new PC, getting more people involved in this video than I ever have with any others, and Auraxiuming the TengUwU, what's this, I have been thoroughly drilled in the definition of a bigger pain in the ass than it's worth. Actually, you know what, that's not fair. The people I worked with were the only part of the experience that didn't make my mag rider go floppy, but that's beside the point. A bigger pain in the ass than it's worth is really the whole story when it comes to the TengUwU, what's this. Why is that? Well, as it turns out, the best feature any weapon in the game can have is putting the bullets where you're pointing the gun. Any TR players that disagree with me on that point, well,
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about you, so suck my nuts.
It's a bit more complex than that, so let's recap what we already know to fully understand what my muddled mess of a mind is trying to convey here. What we have is a pretty good time to kill, and reload and magazine size that's totally on par with the fastest killing SMGs in the game that it is in direct competition with. Its viability from the hip comes damn close to said guns as well, only losing out just by the slightest bit due to its pellet projectiles. So, up close, it is almost as good as the best SMGs in the game. But it's when you start to push the upper limits of what the gun can do, the flaws start to appear. You see, unlike the Armistice or the Cyclone, even at 60 meters and beyond, you can tap fire those guns if you're damn good with them and still kill people with it. The TengUwU, what's this, on the other hand, I mean, yeah, your shots carry more damage over range, but good luck ever putting lethal damage into a single target with it. So it's slightly worse up close, definitely worse at range, reload and mag size are on par, so its last saving grace to become a weapon that's not just Auraxium fodder is the advantages of using pellet shot. So, what are the pros and cons of using pellet shot versus a normal bullet? Well, first and foremost, the biggest advantages that I have found is that it is fantastic at generating friendly fire warnings. Shooting somebody 4 times for 50 damage generates way more grief points than shooting somebody once for 200 damage. And you might be laughing at this now, but trust me, once the NC find out about this, the team killing meta is going to be changed forever. But perhaps my favorite feature the weapon has is that occasionally you can miss one one of your pellets and hit something in front of the target you're shooting at. That way, instead of having one heavy assault shooting back at you, you can have two heavy assaults shooting back at you, and if that ain't efficiency, I don't know what is. But outside of that, there really are no advantages that come from splitting your projectiles like this. In fact, it brings every single disadvantage that Vanu's unstable ammo has, and zero benefits. It's less ideal for headshots, it's bad at shooting in and out of tight places, it's bad for ranged engagements, and all these negative things and more for a weapon that is already playing second fiddle to the weapons it's competing against. A second-rate gun with a third-rate gimmick. TengUwU, what's this? A bigger pain in the ass than it's worth. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Take out the random BS exposition I added to this video, and that was, what, like a 90-second review? But yeah, that sort of just is the whole story of the TengUwU what's this. It's a fine enough gun, though I would never really recommend it for anything more than just another close-range SMG to grind out a directive with. But now that I'm finally done, do you know what that means? It means I'm free from having to finish this cursed video. Oh my god, I swear, I was this close to losing my mind making this video, but oh, what the hell? Oh, Kamikaze's calling me. Oh, you know what? He's always great company. You know, I'm sure talking to him's gonna calm me down. Let's see how he's doing. Oh, hey, Kami, what's going on, man?
Hey man, not much. Not much. How about yourself? What are you up to?
Oh, it's not too much. I was just in the middle of finishing a video on the TengUwU. I mean, the Tengu.
Oh, like the pocket gauss saw? I love that thing. It's great. Right, you still there, buddy? You good? Right.